you have putting your money and hoping that you get returns as a thing, right? And then you get to you get to pull different levers, and then you get to put a spectrum. And on one end, you're going to have what you're probably meaning by investing, which is lower risk. Let's diversify. This is wealth growth and compound interest in your dividend collection stuff. Okay. And then on the other hand, and then you can start doing some higher risk things, maybe actually picking out your own portfolio, individually taking stocks and whatever it is, and continue working your way up. As risk starts increasing, so is your potential return, obviously. And then you have what we're calling gambling, right? Which is ultra high risk, right? Like low probability, but really high impact potentially, speculation. So there is your spectrum, and along the way, everybody is guessing, right? Like Warren Buffett obviously is a great investor, but he gets it wrong sometimes too, right? Like the airlines and COVID was a great example with it. So he takes his little loss and whatever and call it a day, but his approach is one that requires decades. This other one is you're just pulling it up, and so you're speculating from both ends of it. Is how much am I willing to lose, or how much do I want to make? And then you can even make adjustments. You can get you can make it you can gamble responsibly, right? If you have $100,000 and you go to someone and say, dude, don't do these out of the money stock options because you're going to lose your money. It's like, yeah, I could lose 100% of my money, but I'll take 1,000 of those dollars, put them on this side of the spectrum, and I'll take the other 99 over here. I've seen multiple times people take $1,000, turn it into $100,000 overnight. All right. So was that risking, or was that super intelligent, diversified approach to money risk management?
Luck?
Like, of course there's luck. No, 100% luck. Yeah. An incredible amount of luck. But still it happens. And it's like, well, worst case scenario, which was the most likely, I would have had $99,000 left. Right. And I hit the jackpot. And so now I have twice as much money as I started with. It's irresponsible to take the $100,000 and do that with it. Right.
That's interesting because it's exactly the same as not exactly the same, but very similar to what Ask Sebi said when he came on our podcast. It was Beat the Bush. Yeah. He said that you should place your bets. Obviously, you should be doing the long-term, growth investing and stuff like that. But at the same time, it is important on occasion to put some money here, put some money there that could potentially, explode and skyrocket your account if you want to become that type of wealthy. And then also, I wanted to bring up, do you ever have people that come after you for facilitating some sort of community that could potentially lead to people, losing their account?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to read between the lines, or you have to be more blunt with that, right? So, do I have people that say, who
whether
would
that be like the media, just like individuals? Like,
no, like nobody wants to have somebody else lose money, right? Like that's
of course, yeah.
And it would be a really silly ask. And so even if someone's thinking about it, like nobody dares to ask me because the answer would be no. Like nobody wants nobody wants other people to lose money. It's kind of fun to watch, but it's not, it's not what you're here to watch. You're like, if you watch World Series of Poker, it's like, oh, he went all in with whatever. Maybe he's going to win, maybe he's not. It's exciting. And if he wins, it's exciting. And if he loses, it's exciting. And that's kind of neutral. And you're not sitting there going like, I hope everyone loses it all. Right. I do feel guilty as we start getting high profile wins that people are like, look how much money I made, $1 to $100,000. Right. And then other people are like, holy cow, that's possible. I didn't realize that. I'm going to try and do that too. Then you have these coattailing individuals that don't understand or
right.
get starstruck, and then they lose it too. So I always feel guilty when people make money because of this reason. When people lose a huge amount, I feel bad for them, but I feel less guilty because they're going to remind that same exact community that losing money is there too. And so they can vicariously kind of learn through that, right? So the damage that a big win, a big high profile win can make collectively is higher because you're going to force a lot of people to lose it. The damage that's made when there's a high profile loss is actually positive for the community, right?
Right.
But no, nobody's ever asked.
Well, I think you're exempt. You're exempt from responsibility for any of the people making their own decisions. But more so, I was just asking, like, do you ever have people that target you for being the platform that could?
Yes.
Yeah. Let's say even in the
like
media.
That's
Yeah, I mean, like people, look, the majority of the people that reach out to me are looking for a profit opportunity for themselves, right? Like, no one's just going to try and encourage a circus for no particular reason. So if there's a company that wants to increase their visibility, that happens all the time. Or sectors, right? Like there's a guy that I'm in contact with. He's like, dude, you need to do Wall Street bets, but just for biotech, these pharmaceutical companies, right? Because, this guy's in that universe. And he said, dude, it's so crazy how this niche of the market is extorted by hedge funds that come in there and say, oh, you're like in phase whatever clinical trials. I'm going to short your stock, buy warrants, manipulate the crap out of your thing so that we can profit right before you release it. But in the process, hurting these companies because they need, they're in the stock market because of capital markets. They need capital. Like that's the whole purpose. And oftentimes people forget that. So he goes, if I could just tell these extorting people that I'm on Wall Street bets, they're going to back off. Right. And so why don't you do it that way? So it's more like that. People in the media that say, hey, we need to have something fun to cover. Right. Like if that's their best interest. No, nobody, the news is much more responsible than that. Like they want to report, not manufacture.
So you think you yourself, you're not really villainized for that at all?
No. Like people understand. Like when you go to the casino, like you're not gonna get mad at them if you.
Oh right, no, I'm just saying the people that would be villainizing you, I think personally, would be in the wrong. Because I think it's more their personal own responsibility to.
No, I don't think I've never received any type of negative feedback where they're saying, look, what you're doing is wrong. I've wanted to have that. So here's a cool thing. Right before coronavirus, one of the things that led to me being removed, I said to myself, all right, now this is big, and I wanted to start this conversation. We've already had it a few times with the infinite margin, like you had a handful of events. Now let's take it to the next level. I really want to see people on TV mad about the situation. So I'm going to rent out a casino, like one of those concert venues, a place. I'm going to do this competitive day trading, like a tournament type thing where you have 10 or 12 competitors on stage on the front. I was like an esports tournament, right? Trading live with the actual stock market.
Oh my gosh.
And YOLOing the crap out of this. So it's gonna have the format of a video game tournament, like these esports.
That's
things.
amazing.
I would
live stream it.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
PPV.
Yeah. You give everyone 10 grand? And
you get, no. I mean, there's a lot of laws around that. So
Gosh.
I actually created this thing. I had it all set up, so I'm familiar very well with what the restrictions are. But even more than that, it was like, let's take a Dave Portnoy and a Jim Cramer, and if you saw David's, like we call it trading spaces, the homeless guy from the street, like just get a little bit of everything. Just to see, to see what wins. If you watch Chris Moneymaker for that first World Series of Poker wasn't a good poker player, but it was fun to watch, and he won because he was lucky. Obviously, there's luck, so let's just do this YOLO thing, and no other place than in a casino, right? Because I want the world to know that we're playing with the stock market from Las Vegas. Then coronavirus came and it killed my dreams, but now I'm bringing it back, and that's going to happen much bigger this time around because. I just see some opportunities opened up.
I want an invite to that. I want to see that.
Sounds
in
incredible.
person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you feel Wall Street Bets has changed investing? Because I think very much it's shifted away. It almost seems like now people are no longer interested in safe fundamental stocks because they're like, why would I wait a year to make 7% when all of these other people are trading momentum stocks now or meme stocks and they're making that in a few hours?